If it feels like there are just too many meetings today, there are. There are also too many bad meetings. It's so easy today to create a meeting request or web conference. It just takes seconds. However, easy doesn't mean effective. The impact of bad meetings is that they waste time, talent, and treasure. If your goal is to sell today, you can't afford the cost of bad meetings. Business is moving faster. The stakes are higher. So second chances are just in short supply. Today, you're going to understand what extraordinary meetings look like. We're going to distill this down so that you're going to learn how to create winning meetings that will improve your sales outcomes immediately. And as a bonus, I'm also going to share 3 words with you that you can use to propel the meetings that you're in forward. Welcome, YouTube. My name is Joe Paranteau. I'm an expert salesperson who has led close to 30,000 meetings. I've sold more than $1.4 billion to businesses of all sizes, generating millions of dollars in revenue per day. I'm also the author of a new book, coming soon, called $1 Billion Sales Secrets. In it, you're going to learn 15 secrets that will help you ignite your sales success. I've used these secrets myself, and if you're a B2B seller, a direct seller in the real estate industry, an entrepreneur, a small business owner, maybe you're even a student looking to land your first professional sales job, a charity, or a consultant, well, you are the people that I wrote this for. Now, before we begin, please take a moment, press the like button below, and subscribe to this channel. First, let's start with what excellent meetings look like. Extraordinary meetings drive synergy, action, and accountability. They value the time, talent, and treasure. So let's talk about time. A meeting that's short, succinct, and packs a punch is refreshing. You could plan content for these meetings in a matter of minutes. It doesn't take long. Now, when I talk about talent, the best meetings are thoughtful about who needs to be in the meeting in the first place and what their role is. And because you've considered time and talent, they've been factored in, the treasure is what your meeting yields as a result. Now, if your meeting's haphazard and aimless, the costs could be quite high. But extraordinary meetings begin before you ever walk in, and they linger long after you leave. Your excellent meeting provides vivid examples and stories of successful people and the customers that you have helped, and your actions direct and propel them forward toward their dreams, goals, and objectives. Can you remember when your last excellent, extraordinary meeting was? Excellent meetings are like endangered animals. If you've seen one, well, you're regarded as rare and something special, something to be protected and revered. So, let's bring back the population of excellent meetings, okay? Here's how you own your next meeting. We're going to internalize the OWN as your guide. And OWN stands for the 3 processes that you can employ in every meeting. The first process is called organize. Organize is about spending the time before the meeting to make sure it will be a success. Win is the next process. It's designed to help your customer or prospective customer win. So in sales, when they win, you win. And you also need to have a winning attitude to pull this off and set yourself apart from the rest. And, well, that's for next steps. In every meeting, you should always be asking yourself, now what? What happens next? So let's break this down a little further. So another simple way to remember the organized process is that you have to build your plan. Yeah, you guessed it. Plan stands for something. It stands for prepare, lasting impression, assets and agenda, and next steps. So I want to tell you, I want to cover everything in this video, but I can't. I'm going to do an entire video on the prepare step. It's simply that important. But let me put it to you like this. Your customers and prospects prepare for you. They walk around today with more computing power in the palm of their hands than what we had to put the first astronauts on the moon. So let's look at the high points of what it is to prepare. As I said earlier, the meeting starts way before you even schedule it. You need to know the outcome of where you want to be with your customer or prospect. Now, I love hiking. So let's say you and I are taking a hike into the Alaskan wilderness. Well, we're going to have a map. Probably some bear spray, good shoes, camera, maybe some survival gear. But we can see the end before we begin. So to help you prepare, I created something called a sales call plan template. It helps guide you through your goals before you and your customer have the meeting. And ask things like, what are the minimum acceptable actions and the best possible outcomes? You see, having that range of possibilities are going to help you evaluate later if you hit the mark. Now remember, time, talent, and treasure. How long is the meeting? Who should attend and why? How can you also be inclusive of others and tailor it to their abilities? Are there people who are hard of hearing or colorblind attending? Build that in as you build your agenda and base it on these goals. Develop your questions in advance of the meeting and anticipate where you're going to meet resistance. I always like to think of people and customers who are going through their journey, and I'm intersecting them at a very special point in time. It's good to ask them, hey, where have they been in the past and where are they now? What's occurred up to this point that's impacting them or their business? Now, as a communication student, I spent an entire year understanding what happens when one person A meets another person B. It's an amazing encounter where each individual brings their own experiences, histories, cultures, and so much more. Draw them out with questions. So then, after I know where they're at, where do they want to go? What aspirations do they have? So in direct selling, maybe you're trying to get people to buy your weight loss program or supplies. What do people want? Better health. Reduced weight. Why? And this is so golden. Why do they want these things? What is the impact of these to their future? What will it enable them to do? Now, the next questions that you can ask is, what's standing in their way of reaching that goal? Understanding this will help you build your sales opportunity plan, which, you guessed it, we'll have to share in another video. We are still in the organized process, and we just covered the highlights of prepare, the P in the steps known as plan. Next, think about the lasting impression, the L, that you want to leave. How do you leave a lasting impression? Well, you practice delivering your content. You dress for success. Show up well in advance of the meeting, on time. You nail the goals and the next steps. So let's think about assets now. One of your assets is the agenda. People need an agenda well in advance of the meeting. Always. Let's say you're cold calling. You can still have an agenda prepared. What do you want to talk to the other person about? Make it a script or something similar. In door-to-door sales, you can have an agenda, door knocking. Agendas help people see the signposts of where you're going. Other assets are the stories that you tell and share, the customer references, social, industry proofs. Finally, the last step in plan is to strategize next steps. What specifically do you want to have happen as a result of the meeting? Build your strategy and next steps to help you round out your plan and make the process of organizing your next meeting considering all the other meetings that you need to have in order to win. And this brings us to the win process. The second process. Winning, as I said before, is not about you winning, and this is crucial. that you get in the right frame of mind to help the other person or company that you're working with win. You need a winning attitude, a winning mindset, and the energy to match. Remember, you are guiding the other people or companies through an experience that they're trusting you with. Helping them win is what's going to make you a better salesperson. That's what selling is all about. Now, the last process in owning your next meeting are the next steps. What's needed to drive action? Action is what distinguishes a sales meeting from all the rest. What specific actions will at least one person take as a result of your meeting? So where are you in the storyline of your sale? And what would this customer agree to, that would help them get to their next steps? So let's review. I showed you that owning your meeting is all about process. And there are 3 interconnected processes to remember: organize, win, and next steps. In the organized process, we broke down how to create your plan by preparing a lasting impression, having the right assets, and strategizing about next steps. In the win process, we discussed the mindset toward helping your customer win. And in the next step, we discussed how you're going to help propel the sale forward. Now, as I promised, I'm going to share with you those 3 words that you can use to help customers think forward. Word number 1 is imagine. Not only is this a great song from John Lennon, but it works wonders with visual people that you're selling to. Imagine what the future could hold if. Imagine what success could look like. The word imagine gets visual people just, thinking about their future and the outcomes that they're looking at. When you use it, people can't help but start thinking and imagining the future. Word number 2 is impact. Impact allows your audience to consider what happens as a result of change that you inspire. It helps them see the end goal realized. And word 3 is the word commit in all of its variations. Commit, commitment. The word lets people pause and know that you're asking them to be accountable to an action. Now, think about how you can ask someone for their commitment to products and important services and plans and ideas that you have. Well, I hope you've enjoyed these words, and I hope you plan to use them in your next meeting. Remember, you can own meetings of any size and type using this method and drive the meeting forward with these 3 words. So here's a tip. You can even own your next vacation plan or your next date using the same method. So try it out. Have some fun. Until next time, I'm Joe Paranteau, and I want to hear from you. How can I help you where you are at today? Let me know by subscribing, getting connected with me, www.jparanteau.com. Or you can find me by my handle, which is the JPAR, THEJPAR, the JPAR on most social media platforms. I look forward to hearing from you soon.